After completing the habits and personality onboarding quizzes, which prompt the user to be reflective of their own digital well-being journey, Jane Doe, who is our first user, is revealed to be a sensitive individual who's easily distracted by her device. She often browses on social media for hours, losing her sleep, and becomes unproductive. WellB suggests personalized OS features, which include restrictive social media notifications, structured work mode and bedtime mode, repurposed cookies that limit personalized content, and a soothing companion. As Jane is using her phone, she wants to enable her Instagram notifications since she wants to get up to date with the latest memes and her favorite influencers. But before she can do that, WellB asks her to go through a set of exercises. Firstly, Jane is asked to reflect on the reason why she wants to enable the Instagram notification. WellB then presents Jane with facts in the hope to negate and reduce her motivation to complete the action. After that, WellB asks Jane again if she still wants to enable the notification. Jane decides to go ahead with the last step, so she has to record her voice that she will not let her phone distract her from her day. By asking the user to affirm their goals here, it is hoped that they will stick to the path of digital well-being improvement. When Jane wants to focus on her work, she can activate the structured work mode. Here, Jane chooses the 1-hour session option. WellB then prompts Jane to focus for 1 hour, where all notifications will be silenced. Meanwhile, she has the option to play some focused music. After 1 hour is over, WellB allows her to browse her phone for 10 minutes. This was based on the user interview that taking breaks and allowing the user to do things that they want to often result in less temptation to procrastinate. Jane is then asked to go for a 15-minute walk around the block, and before she can start another structured work cycle, she is asked to meditate for 5 minutes to ground herself and bring back her attention. Note that Jane has the option to enter work mode at all times. However, she would be prompted to go through a similar set of exercises as shown on the notifications features earlier. After Jane finishes her task, she now has time to browse on Instagram. After a while, the repurposed cookies feature kicks in the background, depleting the personalized content from her feed. Jane now sees less of the memes and influencers content on her feed, so she's starting to get bored. As a result, she finally decides to put her phone away and goes hang out with her sister instead. Note that the repurposed cookies is reset every day so that the user can still browse their favorite content. When the time is approaching 10 p.m., Jane is notified about her upcoming bedtime. The screen turns grey and all notifications are silenced to reduce the stimuli. Then at her set bedtime, WellB actually locks her out of her phone. WellB then recommends relaxing sound for her to play to help her fall asleep. When Jane wakes up, WellB greets her with a morning text that summarizes how her night went. Her progress can be viewed on the progress dashboard. Last feature that has been assigned to Jane is a soothing companion. This is because she scores high in neuroticism, which is a tendency to experience negative feelings, and is revealed through the phone habits quiz that she often engages with social media drama. Therefore, her companion will provide soothing messages to Jane when it detects that she's looking at the content that could potentially affect her mental health. To further encourage Jane to look up from her screen, the companion will use her phone location data to suggest offline activities to her based on her interests, which can be edited on the settings. Overall, Jane's version of WellB focuses on creating structure that facilitates healthy habits, as well as providing emotional support to serve her low self-efficacy and high neuroticism personality, which also ties to her phone habits. To highlight the personalization aspect, user scenario 2 will focus on Tom Liu, who is a career-driven individual struggling to establish a nice work-life balance. WellB's onboarding quiz reveals that Tom finds it difficult to tune off from work. He is also quite self-conscious about his career journey. In contrast to Jane Doe, Tom's work notifications will be limited to office hours only to help with his work-life balance. For Tom, his repurposed cookies will be focusing on limiting hustle culture posts. Furthermore, Tom's companion feature focuses on optimizing his work-life balance and helping with his deep self-consciousness about his career path. For instance, when Tom browses on LinkedIn excessively, the companion will gently remind him that everyone has their own path to success.